The zoo is a neighbor to an old garden, the Frederiksberg garden. And these two green areas have been living for many years without actually having contact to each other. And when redesigning this area, designing the elephant area, we tried to come with a radical new scheme of design, where we wanted to connect areas, where we wanted to open up the zoo towards this Frederiksberg garden, but on the other hand also open up the garden towards the zoo. In this project we were working together with Danish Architects, and it was a very interesting project. It was a dense collaboration, and we had many technical demands which had to be solved, connecting to plants on the building, because the building should be integrated into the landscape. We tried to find a color which was connected to the natural areas as well as the elements, for example the columns. And these elephants are living in forests with a soil which has a kind of red color. We tried to transform this red color into the concrete surface, which you can find both in the columns, in the pavements, but also in the walls between visitor areas and the elephants. The Dublin project was a competition together with Danish Architects, which we won together. And for us, the most interesting elements of this project is that the site is located on a formerly botanical garden. It was important for us when we designed the scheme to create an area which really could be used in a very dense part of the city. We decided to design a kind of a new botanical garden which can be used of everybody in Dublin, a kind of open botanical garden. But not just a botanical garden as we know it, a garden in different dimensions which was connected to the buildings, a kind of a three-dimensional botanical garden, how to say, which can be also used on different levels of the building. So you have a variation of flowering, of taste, of fruits, of colors all over the year. So everybody can realize the change of the seasons.
One of the main ideas in the competition from our side were that the public spaces should be created before they start building the houses. Then everybody could see how big qualities the urban life would give to the buildings, and maybe that could provide a better quality of buildings. The whole paving and the leveling of the paving is created out of a polygon system or triangle system. We would like the paving and we would like people to move more smooth, or we would like to create some different kinds of urban spaces by the leveling. And in that way we work with different geometric forms in the leveling. This project is located in the western part of London. And the most important thing in the concept is that we would like to give people access to the water. Today in this area there is a fence between the land and the water, and we would like to open more up because water is the most interesting part in that area. And it is that situation that we try to play a little bit with, where we create the urban space in levels, so you can come very close to the water. And when it's flooded, you will have much more water than you have in normal situations. That means that the waterscape is changing the whole plan for the area.
Well, there has been a lot of discussion about high-rise in the center of historical Copenhagen. There's been a lot of discussion about the climate and how Copenhagen is going to address these issues. We thought that we could contribute to this debate as architects and come up with something completely crazy and have fun while doing it, of course. The basic and very simple idea of this project, the Metropolis Park project, was to ask, what if we move Tivoli to Ørsted? Ørsted is the largest development area in Copenhagen, and Tivoli would bring suddenly 4.5 million visitors every year to Ørsted. That would really catalyze the urban space in Ørsted. And once you get your head around the simplicity of this idea, you could really start to imagine what to do with the Tivoli Salt site. What kind of city could we dream up on 90,000 square meters in the very center of historical Copenhagen. So instead of building or discussing the specific design of a high-rise in central Copenhagen, we thought, why not just put everything on the ground, and then the main focus would become the qualities of the areas between the built square meters. You would have sort of an endless urban space, an endless green kind of urbanism, an open-ended project that didn't really discuss building in a traditional sense, but instead focused on the urban space. And it's not a park in a traditional sense. It's really something that merges the park as a typology with the city as a built environment into a new kind of integrated system or take on tomorrow's city. The extent to which this project has been discussed in the media and by other the politicians and the architects as a profession really sort of took us by surprise. But also that this sort of proves the point that public space is really something that is being increasingly focused on. The longer you can stay naive in a process, actually is more ethical. You have a lot more possibility of discussing things that are upside down or inside out. So if we can stay naive throughout the whole process, I think we have really achieved something in a project.
So you ask if I should choose a box. There's a big collection of boxes. Some is here, some are at my home, and some is other places. I think I would like to choose an empty one, which actually turns out not to be empty, because before you open it, you start imagining what is inside, and then you're surprised. You open and see there's nothing, and you already know that all the boxes are full of something. So I think, of course, the empty one, which is not empty, because they have the surprise of being empty, is the most interesting one, because it's open. It's open for interpretation, it's open for surprise, it's open for you put in all your imaginations and ideas of what could be in it. And the second you open it and see physically there's nothing, you discover yourself surprised by that. And then you start wondering what could have been here, and then the whole thing started. And this, I think, is wonderful for the city. The city should be like these open boxes.